bumped into you and you were working at LFC TV. I went, oh my God, you've dyed your hair back.
He used to have tips, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Genuinely, I had tips like, you when Eminem was around when fucking 2001 or something.
So you had tips.
Yeah, so you had tips.
Well, I think
No,
you were
when you were filming at Gateshead, you had tips. Because you had like long hair.
That was the like me, I swear about it.
I'm fucking completely colourblind, what do you mean? It was the light. So I looked at you and thought, oh, he's got long hair.
If I had tips that look shit, I'd own it. I'd tell you, but I genuinely never dyed my hair. That's about it.
Maybe you just go grey, I can't sure.
When you have kids into the mix, and that's it, isn't it? It's fucked.
Apart from me getting a cold brain or whatever it is. The worst bit about it was all the Southern fans trying to give me a slow walk and say, oh yeah, first time, isn't it? But no, I really enjoyed it actually. I just enjoyed going to the West.
What time do you back?
3 AM. Less enjoyable.
Yeah.
Especially since I was doing another breakfast show at like 12. I was a host and stuff, so I had to write the agenda. It was just, yeah, a whole lot.
Yeah, the whole.
So he's going to go halfway in the first one.
He was a nice lad, and I liked him.
Yeah,
I was hard for him.
yeah, there's nothing to it.
No, man, but he moved his chest on the race course, you know. And then, you know, because he went there, and he goes,
It's different.
is it the stadium or is it the training ground? Stop at the service station. You're looking for the glory hole, won't you? So am I, actually. Fucking hell, Paul.
No.
I'm only falling, he's fallen asleep a couple of times. If you turn around and watch Dave, he's asleep halfway through.
Yeah, but they have played Sunday, Wednesday, and then Saturday.
You were even in Jack, no, the seat was empty, and you're like,
Yeah.
even though it was like, oh, there he is, there's Alex coming.
Someone had asked him a question, and the guy answered the question, and then he answered the question.
What's more important, Champions League?
Remember that? Oh, he's just stood there. He goes, oh, it's hang on. No. Anyway, that's it. And then he just goes on. I mean, he was just, I think it was so wrong. It was the right man at the right time. Because the chaos that was in. It was just, he never knew. Oh, it's all right.
Sunday, I think. That's it.
And he's just like, he's gone.
Those chances, Barry, was
TV jockey with
you know what? In the stadium, I didn't realise how bad a miss it was when the keeper spilled Arne's free kick. He's absolutely shanked, absolutely. I was like, when I saw it back home, I was like, oh my god. Oh mate, so every interview he did was it's a one he did for club TV. I'm not seriously so gone after the game.
2 minutes. Post-match press was 2 minutes 40 seconds.
I think his Everton TV interview was 1 minute 20. I think part of that was the camera framing up.
To be fair, it's never normally more than 2 minutes for them anyway.
That was the moment where I completely lost it.
Yeah, you weren't alone, trust me.
I jumped up and just not a very good example to Joe.
It's not letting them.
I mean, it's one of those match days. That was a bad day.
But he has that much. And he's not trying. And honestly, that goal last night,
Great goal.
plays, clever.
Good morning.
Morning.
Wow.
Any first thing?
Arne, first of all, update on Endo. How is he? What's the seriousness of the injury that he suffered the other night?
Yeah, for the injury. We still need to do some assessments, but it's clear and obvious that he will be out for quite a long time.
Again, it's become such a problem for you. I know he's generally a midfielder, but the fact that he can cover it at right back and it robs you of another option there.
Yeah, but don't forget that he's a good centre back and a good midfielder as well. So and it's not as if in those positions, if you look at the number 6 position or the 2 centre back positions, we are quite vulnerable over there as well if something happens. So yeah, let's try to make sure the players we have stay fit now.
How does it all impact your thinking in terms of managing minutes? Because you're going Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, but then of course you do have 8 days before you then face Nottingham Forest in the Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah, not the first time this season that we have to play 3 games in 7 days, and I said many times, it's part of being a top club, a big club, that you play a lot of games. But 3 and 8 is already better, and some teams have 3 and 9. And then it also depends, of course, in the FA Cup what draw you have. And we play a very strong Brighton team because I think there are a lot of comparisons between Brighton and us. They absolutely don't deserve to be in the position they're in at the moment. They play so much better than the league table shows. Almost every game they're competitive and deserve more than they get. So yeah, it's another challenge and another. I just said to Tony yesterday evening, it took me a long time before I could fall into sleep because I was constantly considering what options I have for the lineup or what I should do. Because indeed, do you play the same players again or the others? Is this a moment for the others? But which others in which position? So I need another 24 hours to decide on the lineup. That's.
I take it then priorities come into it as well. So where does this competition come in terms of priorities? Because we would always assume in this situation that you're in this season that maybe Champions League qualification, league position is the priority of the season. So what are you weighing up in terms of your priorities?
We've got 3 priorities: FA Cup, Champions League qualification, and the Champions League. But we're also aware of the limited options we have. So in terms of the squad. So the load management is important as well, because the last thing we could use right now is another injury. But yeah, that is always the difficult balance for a manager, including his performance staff and medical staff. What is the best decision to make every single time. And it is also true that it wouldn't be for the first time that a player could get injured if he has to play 3 games in 7 days. But yeah, it happened also many times that a player could just play 3 games in 7 days. So that's the challenge we're having. But the most important thing is we have to train today, see how the player's doing, listen to them, how they feel, and then make the best possible decision.
When you're talking about you mulling over those options right now and thinking who you could bring in, youth here, you've seen young kids go and win a trophy. Is that something now you could delve into? Are you looking more at the younger end of your squad?
I'm looking always at them, because yesterday they trained again, all of them. But on a serious note, a few of them come closer and closer to first team football, and a few of them already had it with Rio and Trey. Games like this could be an option for them as well. But like I said, it's finding the right balance between, because we do play a very strong and good team with Brighton tomorrow. And finding the right balance in who to play is something we're going to think about even more today.
With it being a Premier League opposition in the FA Cup as well, does that make it tougher for you and give you more questions?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yeah, if we would have had a different opponent today and tomorrow, then I maybe would have made other choices as well. Yeah.
Carl?
This might be an obvious one, but how important has your captain been during this spell? We talked about sort of load management stuff. He's played nearly every minute of every game. He always turns up. You know, how vital has that been for you this season?
No, vital, of course, because not even looking at the amount of options we have at centre back, because if he's not playing, there are no options left. Same for Ibu, by the way. Although Joe is coming back now, but he's been fit every single time, and I've said this before, how big of an accomplishment that is for a player of his age, because he's not the youngest anymore, plays every 3 days. But that's not a coincidence, because if I look at how much work he puts in on a daily basis to recover, to be ready for the next, immediately when the game finishes till the moment the next game starts. And I've said before that it's always harder to stay fit in a season where you have where a team, and he as well, had so many setbacks. So it tells you a lot about what he does off the pitch in recovery, but definitely also about his mental strength, that he's able to stay with the team, and not only stay with the team, but also bringing in very good performances and lead the team, as he always does, on and off the pitch, by example. And that is also what he did Wednesday night in Sunderland.
You've spoken many times about improvements in both boxes, and obviously he's now becoming a threat. You know, attacking set pieces, scored again on Wednesday night, got the winner. So that's an important attribute to have.
I would almost say in the current Premier League, it's the only attribute you should have, doing set pieces well. Yesterday, I again watched the game where set pieces were almost part of everything that happened during the game. So yes, vital. He scored one against Bournemouth, scored now one, and has already scored a few important goals for us this season. Definitely last season as well from set pieces. So yeah, he's a big threat in the air, offensively and defensively is really important for us, and not to concede. So yeah, vital, and I hope he will score many more for us in set pieces this season.
Just to follow up on that, has your opinion on set pieces changed this season? Seeing how effective other people have been, has it made you change your thinking?
My first thought through my head was no, because I've always said set pieces are it's almost impossible to win a big game of football with a negative set piece balance. And Premier League, every game is now a big game because the strength of the league. So, but looking at how the league where the league has gone to, I should maybe not say no. I should say yes, because it's yeah. I cannot stop talking about the importance of set pieces. It's every single day. It's so obvious. You have asked me multiple times what the difference is between our Champions League performance and our Premier League performance. Now, the most simple answer is set pieces, because in the Champions League we're top in set pieces. In the Premier League we're completely bottom, and that reflects in the league table as well. And yeah, the current Premier League is so much more about set pieces than it was last season. That even though I found it's very, very, very important, it's now gone through the roof in terms of how important it is. It's actually impossible to win the league if you have a set piece balance like ours. You need to have plus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to even, no matter what you do in open play, to have a chance to win the league.
Hello Arne, after the game in Sunderland, where you played without your Hungarian players for the first time in the season, what qualities or dynamics could return to Liverpool's game, obviously if you bring back them to the team, and how important might that be against Brighton?
For a moment I thought we won because of all different reasons, but now you tell me what the reason was why we won. That's not no, these two have been very, very important for us, so this is definitely a joke. How important these two have been for us? Was that your question?
Yeah, and what dynamics or what qualities will them bring back to the team if you play them again?
Now, the energy both of them bring is very important to the team. Milos is, I think, has shown this season that that defensively is very, very solid, able to defend 1v1s against the best wingers in the world. And more we see what we saw in Bournemouth as well, that he's an offensive threat as well, that he has the power to go up and down, also to be an offensive threat. Dominic, I could almost say I cannot stop talking about him. All the quality he has, that is close to ridiculous. So off the ball, on the ball, can score a free kick. His work rate is at another level off the ball. So not only the way he runs, but the intensity he presses with, that's unbelievable. And I think we can all see how much technique and how much game insight he has. So if you are able to play right fullback, defensive holding midfielder, offensive midfielder, right winger, then you must have so many qualities if you're able to play in all these positions. So yeah, he's been vital for us this season and last season, by the way, and he will continue to be that for the upcoming season, like Milos.
Hi, Arne. You mentioned at Sunderland that the away fans helped the team over the line in that last period of the game, but it felt like there was a greater calmness and assuredness about the team defending that late lead compared to the game against Manchester City. I think Curtis Jones came on and completed 100% of his passes, but he maintained an attacking threat. I think Sunderland only had one shot after the 75th minute. What do you need to do to make sure that that's the blueprint for how you deal with those situations in the future?
Yeah, but I think City only had one shot after we scored against them. But that was immediately a goal. And that changes the momentum, that changes everything. So margins have been so small for us this season. Every single time when the other team has a bit of a sniff in the game, all of a sudden they score, and we need to put so much in it before we are able to score. I didn't see that many difference in the last 20 minutes than I saw against City. The big difference was that the first time they arrived after us scoring the 1-0, it was a goal. Before that, we were challenging them in their box to score the second. So yeah, the margins are really small. I think there was a moment that was definitely after 1-0 when Ibu was in a fight with Robbie inside our box. And I felt he lost it, and then Ibu could still put his leg in front of him and played the ball. that is the margin. If that is not happening, he turns and might score because it would have been a bigger chance even than the one Bernardo Silva had. But Ibo defended it perfectly. But those are the small margins we are talking about, and yeah, I see a lot of football and I see a lot of chances being missed, but that's not happening a lot with our opponents this season.
Arne.